Hello everyone and welcome back to Day 1, Group A, Game 2 here between MTW Dimaga, the Zerg spawning here at the 3 o'clock position here on Metalopolis, and up against Liquid TLO, the Purple Terran here spawning at the 6 o'clock position. So Liquid TLO taking Game 1 with an impressive Hellion and Thor in transitioning into Banshee play. So we'll see what his strategy here is on Metalopolis. Once again, Metalopolis being considered a Zerg-favored map. And this is going to be fairly interesting as the spawn distances aren't going to favor really either player. With being so close, the Zerg is going to have a hard time expanding as he's going to have to expand towards the Terran player, or he's going to have to be forced and come and expand at the 12 o'clock position. And of course, with the close distances, the Terran won't have as much of an issue, I guess you'd want to say, pushing out onto the Zerg's base without leaving his base too undefended. So yeah, once again, Liquid TLO is throwing down this refinery before his barracks, which may mean that he's going to be doing that same Hellion build, where he'll get his factory up right after his barracks, and then take out his SCVs from his refinery. That allows him to focus on A, either more Hellions and more harassment, or B, he could use those extra resources, or minerals I should say, on an early command center, and get an expansion up and going early in the game. Dimaga here, last game he did go for an early expansion, and he is now once again going for what looks to be a 15 or 16 hatch, and we'll have to see what he does for a pool. Hopefully that'll be pretty quick, and we'll have to see if he's putting up a geyser before or after. No, it's going to be after the spawning pool. That means Zergling speed won't be coming out right away, and we may see more of a defensive play, or maybe he'll be spreading those creep tumors out again, just looking to connect his base and limit the amount of harassment that the Hellions that are sure to come from Liquid TLO can do. And yeah, we are seeing that signature opening once again. The games that I have viewed of TLO recently have all pointed towards him very, very liking this build. So all workers coming out of gas. I do actually like this. Orbital command coming in once again. No add-on for the barracks. And this supply depot will be pretty much on perfectly timed with the next Hellions that will be surely coming out. Of course, once the orbital command comes up, you always want to make sure that you are continually producing workers. You can never have too many SCVs in the first I guess few minutes of the game. You always want to keep producing them. And Dimaga here with his first 100 gas, we'll have to see what he's going to do. Is he going to put up a Roach Warren? Zergling speed, he is going for the metabolic boost. So, also, Queens, are they coming up? Production tab. Yes, both Queens are in production, and there is a Spine Crawler coming in. Not sure I really like the positioning of this Spine Crawler, as it's not going to prevent any type of harassment of this side on the mineral line. Of course, maybe he's not going to saturate too quickly. Maybe he's just going to be using this hatchery for drones first, or maybe he's going to put up another Spine Crawler. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, the Spine Crawler here does, combined with a Queen on the ramp, prevent any of the Hellions from doing a run-by, and of course that first Hellion is out on the field now, right when that Queen comes onto the field. Of course there are no drones to toast here for the Hellion, so he's just going to have to poke away at the Queen of the hatchery until he can find a buddy or try to make a run up the ramp. Of course there's one Zergling here trying to hold that, but he's not going to prevent any Hellions from getting up there. Second Spine Crawler is coming down now in the mineral line. I do like where he's putting that. And I should try to stop saying coming down or going down. It seems to me that's the cliche word that casters are using right now, and I should say morphing or constructed or being built. Thumbs up for that, right guys? Anyways, both refineries are being worked on now, and a third one is in play. Probably see Orbital Command as soon as he gets the 150 minerals. I don't see him producing SCVs quite yet from that, as your best bet is to get that Orbital Command up ASAP. Saturation is fairly good, and there is more harassment here with the Hellions. They are taking quite a bit of damage though, but these two Spine Crawlers are really going to prevent a lot of harassment. That is very key positioning for those Spine Crawlers, and since it is unburrowed, TLO is going to take advantage of that and try to get in there, but his Hellions do get surrounded by these Speedlings. Zerglings with the upgraded metabolic boost, and they do take out 2. Units lost tab, we're sitting at about even. Dimaga's lost more units, which means either more Zerglings or more drones, which would mean more larvae, but the resources of the 2 is going to be around the same. So once again, an armory coming up for TLO. No tech labs on these factories. Probably going to lift up this factory as soon as it's done building a Hellion and probably place it here, or maybe even, yeah, I don't know. But he's probably going to want to get a tech lab on that ASAP. And ooh, it looks like Dimaga's being a little bit tricky here, plopping down some creep with the Overlord, putting up a Roach Warren. And it's going to be hidden. So this is kind of a similar build that Dimaga went with last game. And if we look at TLO's site, he doesn't see any of this right now. So that will be key, that he needs to see this Roach Warren, as Dimaga, if he keeps it hidden with the Glio Reconstitution being upgraded now, could do a very, very nice timing push that TLO may not be ready for. He's got, what, 6 Hellions out of here in the field, but very nice job blocking the ramp with his Queen, and the 2 Spine Crawlers and a 3rd now coming up are going to prevent any harassment from being done. Barracks now trying to fly in, scan coming down. TLO really wants some sight. I don't know if he caught these roaches or not, but Dimaga's trying to hide them as much as he can. But TLO scanned right in the at the right time. Although if he wasn't looking for the full duration of the scan, he may not have seen that. Looks like we're getting vehicle plating number 1 for the Thors and Hellions. Ooh, he did plop down this factory where I kind of thought he might. And he's now getting 2 Thors out and producing a starport. So we'll have to see if he's going to try to go into those Banshees again, or what he's going to try to do. Once again, though, he hasn't seen this Roach Warren. So if he hasn't seen the Roaches or the Roach Warren, he's not going to see this coming. And how many Roaches do we have out in the field now? And where did he put them? Do we just have a few? That can't be all the Roaches he's got. Let's look at the unit tab. Yeah, just 6 Roaches, so not too much right now. He is getting Hive Tech. And did TLO see that or not? This could be interesting. He did see the Hive Tech morphing, so that will be known to him. So maybe he's thinking Brewlords or Ultralisks once again. And if he is thinking Ultralisks, he's probably going to want to get these Banshees out. But if he doesn't get them out in time, he could be overwhelmed with Roaches. And I do expect that's what Dimaga's doing, as he is producing 13 Roaches right now and 8 more. Ooh, that's a ton. The Ultralisk Cavern is coming down, so if his first push doesn't work, he will be able to follow up with some Ultralisks. TLO putting a nice scan down here, taking out 3 Creep Tumors. 1 here, 1 there, and 1 here. Very nice scan. Those Creep Tumors are very, very important for a Zerg player, especially on maps like this. Oh, and it looks like Dimaga is trying to put an expansion down at the 12 o'clock. And we got some Hellions pushing in here, but there's so many Roaches. This force is going to fall pretty quickly. Unfortunately, Thors do a lot of damage against Roaches, but it's just not going to be enough, as these Hellions don't do virtually any damage to the Roaches. And even with their blue flame that they have, they just do not cut it. And all these Roaches are going to be pushing in. Only Hellions left on the battlefield. No Thors coming out. There's a few Banshees coming in, but it's not going to be enough. There's 1 out in the field already, but they're not going to be able to take out these 12 Roaches nearly fast enough. And I believe this is going to spell the end of the game for TLO. And he's going to be forced to GG, as there's nothing he can do to fend this off. No Thors coming out. He's got 2 in production now, but they're not going to be out in time. And even with these 2 Banshees, they're just not going to take them out. Speedlings now streaming in with more Roaches, and TLO does GG. So Dimaga takes game 2, and that is going to tie the game up or tie the series up at 1. And that means game 3. So stay tuned, guys. Game 3 up right after this.